Thanks, Velma. Good morning. I'm going to talk a little bit about recruitment services since we have been hidden a little bit from the rest of the world, and what our function is within the School of Business, as well as the approach that we consistently take and the measures we're going to take in the future. Recruitment Services is essentially the liaison to the employers who are coming to campus to recruit you, our students, and our primary responsibility is to assist them and to act on their behalf and bring opportunities to you in as much mass as possible. So we have 5 recruitment support specialists, and each of them has a different industry portfolio, actually several industry portfolios, and they act as consultants. They speak with the employers on a regular basis, and not only do we build relationships with the existing employers who come to campus regularly, but we're consistently building new relationships with the new employers who are reaching out to us to get more involved in our processes and programs. These specialists work in conjunction with the employers to determine what their needs and goals are and to manage and determine an effective recruiting strategy for them, to leverage their resources so that they can make the best of their time here on campus, and hopefully to make you aware of the opportunities that you have available to you as well. Velma alluded to this, but the reason why I talk a little bit about our function and the way that we differ from career services, because we're not traditionally a part of the career services team, is because it is so unique to a university setting. Our organizational structure is very unique, and the benefit to you is that we truly work together to bind and collaborate across all of the populations. We support all 3 populations objectively and without bias, so that enables us to cross-promote and cross-sell different programs to employers who may not have otherwise been aware of the opportunities that are available to them. So if an employer comes in and wants to recruit BBA students for an accounting position, and we know that we have a population that suits their needs as well or better, then our consultants will speak with the employer and educate, coach, and counsel them on the appropriate measures to take to get in front of the right population without underselling the originally intended audience. So you should feel fortunate in the fact that you have an entire team of people who essentially is working specifically on bringing opportunities to the forefront and to make you aware of them. Yes, there is on-campus recruiting, but there are several other opportunities available for which we also manage. Resume collections, the McCombs Job Board, Access UT are all excellent resources to utilize, and I would urge you to do that. One of the points that I wanted to talk about that is noteworthy, and as Velma had alluded to, is the amount of cancellations that you see in the position titles. And from your perspective, I would be wondering, what the reasons are for this, because it can seem dismal when you look, but in reality, the cancellations are not much higher than they were in previous years and are due to a significant number of factors. One being low submissions for certain organizations. Another being the fact that we made positions available to students a month earlier this year based on student feedback from previous years that you wanted to be able to apply sooner. That being said, the employers needed to post their positions earlier, and so some of the requisitions that they had open maybe were not vetted through their offices as much as they should have been, and so they determined at some point they didn't need to hire for those functions anymore. We also had the financial services crisis. Obviously, that was a huge impact, but if you remember, Hurricane Ike was a significant factor as well, and that took place and hit in the first week of recruiting. So we had and still have employers, specifically in the energy sector, but other industries as well, who are located in Houston who are unable to make it to campus for those interviews. And because the recruiting process is scheduled so far in advance, they're not necessarily able to rebound and recommunicate, their intentions here on campus. But we do urge employers to consider other routes, one being the resume collection. So if you haven't been looking in those areas in the past, I would consider those options extremely positive, and I would definitely look in as many areas as possible to diversify your actions. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is just the volume of employers that we deal with on a daily basis, and the fact that our staff works very, very hard to try to bring the appropriate information to the career services directors, to the career services offices, so they know what the trends are and how to advise appropriately. They're doing their own outreach. We're doing outreach on our end as well. We consistently communicate to employers to try to find out what their needs are, what they're seeing in terms of trends and forecasting for their recruiting efforts. And we're working currently on some more calculated messaging to employers to remind them of the significant resources that we have available to them, and to try to make them aware that there is still time to recruit, despite the fact that we're midway through the semester. So it's not all bad news. There are significant opportunities out there for you. They are very broad in scale and in responsibility, and I would really urge you to take advantage of the countless resources that you have available here, to utilize your career services offices who have the most up-to-date information about these employers, and I think that's about all.